आवाज आई क्या आवाज आया
हेलो हेलो એની સાથે આને બી એ બધા કમ્પ્યુટર વાપરે છે એનું કશું કરાય હા ચેસ અરે ભાઈ અહીંથી બંધ કરી દો ને કરી દે ને બંધ જસ્ટ ઇન કેસ નોટ્સ લખવી હોય તો આઈ ડોન્ટ નો શું નોટ્સ લખે ફોનમાં લખે આમાં થોડી ના લખશે કમ્પ્યુટર ચાલશે પોતાના પીસી ચાલશે
already faced or likely going to face related to art of writing? Because see, students are having so many problems like whenever as a faculty we told to them that please write this paper, start writing the article, then the first thing is that you are not aware about that how to write. First thing, that means related to the structure. Second thing is, if you know that this is the structure, structure means number of pages, okay? And then after that, you are not aware about it, that what content I should write in the introduction itself, yes or no? So it is just like a kind of a sequencing basically, okay? So like first paragraph will include what, second paragraph will include what, and after that, I am going to start from the introduction and then we will go up to the references, how you are going to frame out the entire sections. And after that, we will focus more on the success case studies basically, okay? Those students who carried out the research at UG level, right from the second year or third year, and how this research helped them in order to pursue MS from top ranked universities, that too with funded scholarship completely, zero fees, and they are getting some kind of stipend also, okay? So it is not a kind of a miracle, you can also do it, only thing is you need to follow a kind of a structured approach, right from the second year onwards, okay? And after that I will tell you people that how this UG research is going to pay in what sense as a personal or as a societal context, how it is going to differentiate you from the rest of the students, okay? So now moving to the segment, certain slides I am going to just skip. These are the some of the contributions from our side pertaining to only specific to blockchain area. We have contributed almost, I believe that more than 24 books. So these are the sole edited books, sole authored book. Because see, when it comes to exploring a particular technology, this, if I take an example of blockchain, this is not a kind of a specific traditional technology which we can say that cryptography and network security, where you are having so many textbooks available, you can start from chapter 1 and move to the last chapter, okay? So if you are going to refer these kind of technologies, then you need to have some specialized literature for the same. One way is you need to encounter or you need to explore the research articles. Second way is, as already followed by most of the students, you need to have a kind of a specific textbook, and you are bound to follow the specific textbook. So in this particular first book, we have captured almost 83 implementations, 83. And all the codes we have given, all the execution environment we have given. If you fed into what kind of output you are getting step to step in a very lucid language, okay? Now moving to the next segment, this is the outline of entire discussion that I am going to share with all of you. In the first part, very quickly, we are going to focus on what is the art of writing the scientific articles, okay? And in the second part, we will see that how this research is going to uplift your career as an individual, or how it is going to help you in order to get good job in good MNCs, or if your dream is you want to pursue MS, how it is differentiate you from the rest of the student. Because see, nowadays it's a very competitive era, okay? So we have to streamline our all activities, that whether I want to pursue MS or whether I want to go for a company, okay? So in the last part, we need to discuss about some of the success stories that at a UG level, in the recent past, many students already wrote many research articles like conferences or journals, travel grants, competitive hackathons, competitive technical events. So all these we are going to discuss, that how when they join NIRMA right from the second year Department of Computer Science, and when they pass out, let's say in 2019, so after 4 years of span, now what they are doing and what about their entire journey. So that we will see, and we will take some kind of motivation from these success stories. Now moving to the next segment, let me just share the disclaimer statement with all of you before moving to the technical part. I believe that whatever I am going to share with all of you in the next 1.5 hours or maybe one hour, it all depends upon you. Then all these are my own thoughts. Don't consider these as a standard guideline. Because when it comes to scientific writing or exploring a particular technology, then every individual is having their own viewpoint. So some of the content I have taken from some of the research articles, some of the literature. So I want to give the due credit to all the researchers, those who have contributed in this area. Why? Because my sole objective is I want to use their content only for the academic purpose. There is no commercial value involved. Okay, so this is a disclaimer statement from my side. Now moving to the next part, let's say for example, as a teacher we have given you some definition for your major project or minor project, okay? And you have carried out some kind of extensive literature review, implementation, okay? And that means you have spent almost 4 to 5 months on a single definition, okay? Now, what is the next thing that will pay you? It will give you marks, it will give you grade, okay? What, apart from grade and marks, it will give to you? It will give you, whether it will give you name and fame, whether it will give you some kind of monetary benefits, whether it will differentiate you people from the rest of the students, whether it will pay you in your MS or going for your placement drive. Okay, what happens if you are restricting yourself only with respect to marks? Then what happens? It will remain in your desktop, in your laptop, whatever work you have carried out. If you are not going to see any potential of publication for that particular article or the work that you have carried out, forget about whether you have carried out incremental work or a novel work, forget about it. Depending upon the quality of that work, you can select your venue. Getting my point? Otherwise, what happens? What is the next step that will pay you? Get it published. If you are not going to publish your article, community is not knowing you. Gentleman X from Nirma University from second year carried out research on computer vision. How the community across the globe will know you? Through your social profile. Okay? So, if I go to your social profile, I found that you have completed your 10th, 12th from this school. What else? What else? Whether you are available to other platforms like IEEE, ACM, Springer, Hindawi, MDPI, or other publication platform? No, big no. So believe me, these things will pay you in long run. Otherwise, what happens? You will get a kind of a grade, nothing else, not more than the grade. And even though you have already carried out work, I believe 3 to 4 months extensive work you have carried out, yes or no? This is a requirement of your project that you need to carry out some work, okay? And it will not, if you are not see any kind of potential for publication, it will not differentiate you from the rest. It's a garbage. Community is not going to know. So my sincere request to all of you is try to find out the chances to publish your article, whether in journal or in conference, as per the consultation with your guide, your mentor. Okay. Now moving to the next part. What is the exact definition? If you just Google it, you will find a lot of definition related to research. What is research? If you just Google it, you will find a lot of definitions pertaining to research. So now, according to me, I can say that research is what? Where you are consolidating your entire implementation, your entire idea on a single document. And that single document, I can call it as a research, which gives you a kind of a flavor related to a particular technology, which contains some kind of relative comparison, some kind of analysis, or some kind of implementation. Now, if I add one word, just a minute. So what are the other definitions? There are other definitions about the research also. So now, let's say you are very much interested to write any article. Now the next question comes, how will you decide that what are the different venues to submit your findings? What are the different venues? Venues means publication venues, like conference, journal, okay? So now let's say for example, these are the different types of research papers. How many types of research paper exist? If someone is going to ask you, then you can say that first one is the conference paper. Under the umbrella of conference paper also, there are wide variety of articles available. Let's say as a student, I just want to write only one page paper, not more than one page. And that one page contains my results, my introduction, related work, everything. But I am bad in writing. So I just need to consolidate the entire writing in single page. So you can target poster. Every conference nowadays allow poster presentation for UG students. Organizer will provide you a kind of a space where certain dimensions you need to prepare your poster, attend the conference, paste your poster to the space provided to you. Jury will come to your place, will have some kind of interaction with you, question answer session, and they are going to assess you, and they are going to give the best poster presentation award also. And this is the way how you can boost up your CV, your profile. See, if you are not adding in a semester 4 to 5 lines to your CV, damn sure you are on the wrong path. Simple theory. If you want to build up your profile, you have to work hard. And if you are not contributing at least 3 to 4 lines to your CV, you are on the wrong path. You need to check it. Getting my point? So let's say 4 things I am going to consolidate in every semester. So you can say that how many semesters? 8 semesters, 32 contributions, technical contributions you are having. And sometimes it is very difficult for the student to find out what is my scientific contributions to the society or to personal to me for upliftment of my career. Getting my point? So now, first thing is the under the umbrella of conference, you can have the poster presentation. Then come to another category, 6 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, or if you want to target any Springer conference, they can have the conference paper up to 10 to 12 pages. So it all depends upon your way of writing. If you want to write only 1 page, you can target poster. If you want to write 4 to 6 pages, you can target IEEE conferences. If you want to target Springer conference, then you need to write 10 to 12 pages article. Now, my second question to all of you is, how will you check the quality of the conference? All of you agree with me that in India, or if you take an example of across globe, in a single month, more than 100 conferences. More than 100 conferences. How will you differentiate one conference from the other conference? Anyone? Are you getting my question? So let's say I have one article with me. I want to submit that article to any of the conference. How will I check that conference 1 is good or conference 50 number is good? There should be some comparison parameter. What are those comparison parameters? Anyone? For computer science student, note down this thing, core ranking platform, C-O-R-E. Core is a ranking platform which gives ranking to various conferences. In many of the universities, if you want to go for MS, they made it mandatory. How many articles you are having published in core ranking platform conferences? And I'm sorry to say that only one conference, ANS, that's held every year in India, is having ranking in core. Rest all garbage. Only one. If you take the example of good conferences, like if you want to work in the area of communication, then Infocom, Globecom, ICC, VTC, Mobicom, Mobiho, WIMO, all these are the top tier conferences. Having a paper in these conferences will differentiate you from the rest of the students. Because across the globe, the professors of top universities, they know that how tough it is to get a single paper on these conferences. Okay? Now, moving to the next segment, if you want to work in the area of computer vision, CVPR, like NVIDIA is conducting every year one conference, okay? So like in which area you want to work, you have to find out at least 5 top conferences across the globe. And the platform is CORE. You need to go to the core. You just need to write core conference ranking. Google will give you the first link. You just need to open it, type the name in the URL of your conference in which you want to submit it. It will give the ranking A star, B, B plus. Okay? So it is very tough to target A star ranking conferences. Now, second category is the journal articles. Journal articles. So under the umbrella of journal article, we will come to the journal little bit later. Let me just wind up the white paper. What is the meaning of white paper? How this white paper is different from the conference or journal? Normally the industry professionals, those are working in the industry, they are not liking to submit their findings to the publication houses like IEEE, ACES, Springer. Why? They believe that no, it is to be given to the reader in a subscription mode, whether the university is having the subscription or not. So the papers written by the company professionals, that we can call it as a white papers. So they want to inform to the community across the globe that this is the technology and these are the technological revolution in this particular area. So such paper we can call it as a white paper. Now coming to the journal, under the umbrella of journal we are having wide variety. Although we are using the term interchangeably, survey and review, both are same. Interchangeably we are using, I am writing the survey, I am writing the review. We are using these two words. Very open we are using it, okay? So both are having different perception. Survey and review both are different. So what is my perception as if I am willing to write the review article? So in case of review article, I need to critically examine a particular technology since its inception. So that means if I want to explore a particular technology since its inception, then my perception is I want to write a review article. Getting my point? So let's say for example, blockchain was incepted in the year of 2008. So from 2008 till date, I want to collect all the articles. Getting my point? Now, at the same time, if I want to write the survey article, then it is up to me. I have to decide the scope. Whether my scope should be 5 years, my scope should be 10 years, or 4 years, or 3 years, it is up to me. So this is the difference between the survey paper and the review article. So in case of survey paper, other thing is, I need to find out the potential applications, adaptability of the area in which I am willing to write my article, that I am not supposed to do in case of while I am writing this review article. Third thing is tutorial paper. Very important segment for UG students, because every university need a student who is willing to write the tutorial approach articles. Now what is this tutorial approach? Why it is called tutorial paper? Here you are not going to convince to the reader that you are not supposed to compare your approach with the rest of the approaches. You are going to inform to the community that this is the new technology which comes into existence over a period of time, and this is the viewpoint of this particular technology according to you. So such kind of approach we can call it as a tutorial approach. Normally the magazines accept this approach. Magazines like IEEE networks, IEEE wireless communication, IEEE cloud computing, IEEE networks, all these are magazines. And good part about it, the magazines are having higher impact factor. Why these magazines are having higher impact factor? Because circulation of magazines are more. So let's say I take a very basic example. I am from mechanical background, but I am interested to read out articles related to computer vision. Okay? So now it is the duty of the author to write the paper in such a way, if any non-specialized person want to read out that article, then also he or she will get a kind of a gist. So that means no mathematics at all. Within 4,500 words, you have to consolidate your entire idea. 15 references only, 6 including table and figures. Some restrictions are there. You are not going to write the 32 pages or 20 pages article, just 6 to 7 pages article which contain 4,500 words only. 15 references and 6 including tables and figures. Okay? So this is about the tutorial article. Now moving to the next segment, research letters. Some students say that no, I want to target the journal, but at the same time, my drawback is I do not have time to write more. I want to consolidate my entire findings which I have carried out as a part of my major or minor project only in 4 pages, not more than 4 pages. So for them, this particular research letter is a good option, like IEEE networks letter, IEEE communication letter. They provide you a scope, only within 4 pages you have to write your entire article. That means no related work, with only 2 paragraphs of introduction. Rest of the 3.5 pages you need to focus on your approach, on your results, whatever you have found out. Getting my point? So this is also one of the another segment for you people. Apart from that, position paper. What is the meaning of position paper or invitation paper? If someone is pioneer in a particular technology like cloud computing, Rajkumar Bhuiya. So the journal requests to the gentleman, please write some articles for boosting our journal. If any renowned researcher writing the article for a new journal, then it gives boosting to that particular journal. So such kind of paper we can call it as a position or invitation article. And the last one, everyone aware about that, I perform some kind of MNDL experimentations over particular data set, and I have some kind of applications. Then this particular article we can call it as a experimental article. So this is about how many types of article exist. Okay. Now moving to the next part, 2 types of research you can carried out. One is the incremental research. What is the meaning of incremental research? That means I am not new to the area in which I am willing to start my research work. Someone has already started the research work, or many researchers are already working in this area. I am just extending their work. Like for example, someone has tried model X, achieved 88% of accuracy, but I have used model Y, achieved 93% of accuracy. So 5% of accuracy I have increased. So that kind of work you can call it as a incremental work. Now the second one is novel work. That no one have ever touched this area. You are the first one who are likely to touch this area, and others are following you. That means if you are doing the novel research, then others are doing the incremental work on your articles. That means it will give you name and number of citations. Sometimes people complain that I have written so many articles, but my citations are not increased as of now. This is the reason. Why? Because for all work they have carried out the work related to incremental approach. They have not written any article on the novel approach, where they are the first one who have encountered this problem or tackled this particular problem. So looking at research, there are 2 perspectives, incremental and novel. Now moving to the next segment, plagiarism you have to avoid. This is very, very important. Because once the article gets published, across the globe, community will download it, will check it, how much content you have copied, whether you have prepared your entire diagrams by your own. You are not supposed to copy the tables, diagram, or a single line from the already published article. It is not the question of paraphrasing you can do. No, you have to write your own scientific contributions. Otherwise, it is going to be a case of copy and paste, plagiarism, which is an ethical crime. And if you just Google it, you will find lot of articles after publication retracted from the journal repository. What is the meaning of retraction? After the publication, someone has complained, oh, they have copied my idea. So then journal set up an inquiry, and then they come up with a decision, yes, you are saying right. So then they put a red stamp on your article and retracted it from the repository. But believe me, this red stamp is against your name, and it will remain throughout your life, after your life also, because they are not going to delete it. Getting my point? So this is my sincere request to all of you is, if you are not aware about it, that whether to cite it or not, so please cite it. Some of the contents, they are basic phenomena like mathematical equations. If I want to find out the distance between 2 equidistant distance, I have to use the same equation. So it's a standard, everyone is using the same. So you can cite that equidistant distance equation incepted by someone. That this is the, so it is better always to cite it, otherwise it is going to be a kind of an ethical crime, which is community is not following you. So now coming to the writing part, sometimes let's say if we have given you one task, please write, start implementing your research or start implementing your ideas. on this particular title. So sometimes the situation is like that, your mind gets distracted. You found Google it, then you go to different platforms. Google will give you so many options, books, research paper, conference, or some kind of blogs. So you are having ample amount of data available with you. Sometimes it is going to be a very big task that which one is relevant to me, which one is not relevant to me. Yes or no? So this phenomena in the research we can call it as a inclusion and exclusion criteria. Inclusion and exclusion criteria. Which content I should include and which content I should exclude. So now, and even though this distraction is increases day by day because you are having more and more, because you are keep changing your keywords of searching, and whenever you are keep changing the keyword of your searching, you will find new contents, and this new content will increase the volume of data earlier you are having. So it is going to be a very I can say sometime it is going to be kind of a, you see that no, it is very tough to identify the relevant articles to carry out my research work. Okay, so don't feel like that. Sometimes the situation is like that because I personally believe that research is a teamwork. Individually, whatever knowledge I am having, maybe I am good in drafting the scientific article, my English is good. His part is he is good in order to draw the entire things. Third one is good at the implementation part. So can't we club together? We three, then it will give us a kind of a within the stipulated time period or within the limited time period, we can complete the task. Because he is good in implementation, I am good in writing, and she is good in framing out the entire diagrams or analytical reasoning, all kind of things. Okay. So now, if you are having data from journals, from magazines, or from web, then what you need to do? You need to consolidate your entire thing. Another perception about the research is like that. How many of you have already, let's say, I convert my conversation in a more different way. We normally 99.9% researchers, they are first implementing their idea and they come up with the result, and after that they start writing their article. Once the article is finished, then they search for the venue of the article. Getting my point? This is the bad approach. Before starting the writing of your article, you need to fix up your venue first. Where I want to submit this article. This is very important. Why? Because if you are not aware about that for which particular venue you are submitting this article, then you are not aware about the community of that particular journal. So let's say for example, if I want to submit one article to ITNU transaction on industrial informatics, which is a very good transaction. So my transaction is industrial informatics. So the readers are having some industrial background. So that means the content I need to keep related to the industrial information. Getting my point? So that's the way it is very important that you need to fix up the target journal first. Otherwise, what happens? You come up with a kind of a document which is not a worthy document. Next question, very genuine question from the student side. What should be the structure of my article? I am willing to write the article. Now, sir, can you tell me that what should be the structure of my article? What is the meaning of structure? Structure means that at the beginning, I can concise you that you have to write this article within 10 to 12 pages. Now the next question comes, can you tell me in these 10 to 12 pages, how many sections and subsections I should have? Very genuine question from the student side. Structure. So always use this practice that before start writing your article, you need to fix up the structure of your article. That how many number of pages. So percentage wise, if I talk about 5% of the entire page length go to the abstract, then 15% to the introduction, 10% to the related work, and 60% to the experimentation and purpose approach, and remaining 5% is with the conclusion. Now if you look at this particular structure, you can visualize that if I am having 10 pages article, 6 pages are devoted to the purpose approach and results. So that means 60% of the content. So first thing is structure you need to keep. Why it is required? because it will ease your process of writing. If there is no requirement to write 5 or 6 pages of related work, why there is a requirement? Because I want to write only 10 pages article. So according to this particular structure, I need to write only single page for the related work. And you are increasing it unnecessarily. There is no meaning. Getting my point? That's the way the structure of an article before start writing is very, very important. Now the next question comes, very genuine question from the student side. If once the structure is fixed, I know that how many pages of content I should frame out, and I know that how many sections and subsections are there in my article. Next and very genuine question is, now can you tell me from where I should start? Whether I should write introduction first, or I should write abstract first, I should write the implementation, that means the result first. Very genuine question. That we can call it as a writing sequence. This is the structure of the article. Once the structure is finalized, now the next thing is the paper writing sequence. So some of the researchers across the globe, they say that whatever is the structure of your article, follow the same structure. Same structure, same sequence you are going to take, whatever the sequence in your structure you are having. But again, it varies from person to person, from research group to research group. Some say that another choice is they need to write abstract and conclusion later on. They need to start from the introduction, then related work, then proposed approach, related work, then conclusion. Again, there is no standard guideline, but I will tell you that we need to start from the introduction. Because according to me, abstract and introduction both are the backbone of your article. Okay, so this is about the structure of your article. Now, once the structure and sequence of your article are fixed, now the next and very genuine question from the student side. Now you have told me that I should start writing from the introduction. Now can you tell me what should I need to write in the first paragraph of introduction? Very genuine question. है ना, होती है ना problem ये? So what should I need to write in the introduction first paragraph? Okay. So in order to get some of your queries solved, I have kept some of the very generic PPTs for you. So you're irrespective of your discipline, whether you want to work in the area of blockchain, computer vision, deep learning, ML, healthcare, whatever is your domain, this is applicable for all. So we know from the structure that how many pages we need to write for the introduction. We know from the sequence that we need to come up or we need to start right from the introduction. Now the next question is, what content I need to write in the introduction, that we are going to discuss right now. So first thing is, your first paragraph of the introduction will give the answer to these 3 questions. And believe me, it is always required that you need to convert your entire writing into a questions form. If you do this, then you are on the right track. Because always, if you are not knowing that for what purpose I am writing this article, then you are come up with a bad article which is not going to be accepted for any conference or any journal. Okay? So your first paragraph of the introduction will try to give the answer to these 3 questions. What problem we are trying to solve, why this is an important problem, and why this is a challenging problem. Only 3 questions. First paragraph. What problem you are trying to address? Let's say, for example, I want to address the problem of routing in the wireless sensor network, and particularly heterogeneous routing. I need to take heterogeneous wireless sensor network for routing mechanism. Okay, something like that. Now again, in the first paragraph you need to write why this is an important problem. Why you have tackled this problem. That means you need to highlight issues. What are the issues in this problem? Now why it is a challenging problem? What is the difference between important problem and challenging problem? From the important problem, you need to identify the issue. From the challenging point of view, you need to identify the necessity of doing the work in this area in which you are willing to start your work. Okay? So once the answer to these 3 questions are there in your introduction related to first paragraph of the introduction. Second paragraph of the introduction will give the answer to these questions. Whatever problem you have already highlighted in the first paragraph of the introduction, now the second paragraph of the introduction will start from what are the existing solutions. Okay? existing solutions for what? Related to the problem that you have already mentioned in the first paragraph. So that connection between the first paragraph and second paragraph, we can call it as a coherences between the paragraphs and coherences between the sentences. If it is just like a curiosity, let's say as a reader, I have downloaded your article and I am reading out the first line of your introduction, and your first line of introduction is not creating a kind of a curiosity to me to go to the second line. In such a way you have to write it, that you need to create a curiosity, and if you are creating the curiosity, then it will give you citations, it will give you name and fame. Otherwise, first line ka second say there is no relation, first paragraph to second paragraph there is no relation. This is a bad style of writing, where there is no connectivity in your article. In first paragraph you are talking in a different way, in second paragraph you are talking in a different way. Okay, so second paragraph of the introduction will talk about the existing solutions and try to answer this question and why they are not sufficient. Existing solutions are available in order to address the problem that you have already taken. So now tell me why the existing solutions are inadequate to solve the problem which you have tackled or you are trying to tackle it. So you try to find out the answer to these two questions. Could be in 1 to 2 paragraphs. Now still we are on the introduction. Next paragraph of the introduction will tell us about what is your core idea, how you are going to provide the solution. See, we have already told about our problem, important problem, challenging, why it is challenging, and what are the existing solutions and why the existing solutions are inadequate. Sequencing is proper. Now it is the high time for you to tell us that in your article that what is your core idea in order to solve the problem which you have listed in the first paragraph. Okay? And then how your idea is different and novel from the already existing idea, whether your idea is entirely novel or it is going to be kind of an incremental idea. Everyone is going to ask you, this is the first question from the reviewer side, that what is the novelty in your work? So you try to answer the question, this question of the reviewer right from the perception, right from the way you are willing to start your writing, from the day one, that this is the novelty in my work, whether it is an incremental or entirely novel idea. Okay, so still we are on the introduction, 4 to 5 paragraphs we have lined up for applicable to all the applications. Now in the next paragraph, what you need to write? You need to write about the contributions. Your article is having how many contributions? What is your research? What are your research contributions? Maybe in the form of bullets, very specifically 3 to 4 bullets, not more than 4 and not less than 3 to 4 bullets. Everyone is interested to see that. Please tell me what is your contribution, how you are going to, this article is going to contribute to the repository. So these are the 3 reasons. Because of these 3 reasons, it is going to contribute in this way to the existing work. Now, could be, you can summarize it like one of the sample paper I have taken. So like this is the sample contribution for survey paper, sample contribution for experimental paper. So while you are writing the contribution for survey paper, your perception may be different. That we have noticed. While you are writing the contributions for the experimental paper, your perception is altogether different. Okay, so this is about the introduction. Now, last paragraph of the introduction is organization of the paper. What is the meaning of organization of the paper? That means your entire paper contains how many sections and subsections. You just need to summarize that how many sections and subsections are there in your entire your paper. And here people are using graphical layout also. So let's say you have written an article which is of 65 pages. As a reader, I don't have time to read out entire 65 pages. I just need to look at your article's structure. And looking at your structure of article, I can decide I can directly jump to section 3 or section 4. So 2 ways are there. One is the textual value and second one is the graphical layout. So people are using now graphical layout also, like this is the textual representation. The rest of the paper is arranged like that. Section 2 discusses the related work, section 3 discusses the problem formulation, or section 4 discusses the results parameter, something like that. Okay. Now, what is the graphical layout? This is the graphical layout. That means how many sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say I am interested only in the architecture. So I can directly go to, looking at this particular diagram, I can directly go to section number 3, and I am interested to read out about this architecture only. So this will ease the process of the reader. And believe me, if you are easing the process of the reader, you are saving the time of the reader to explore the article, it will again give a positive impact of your article in the mind of the reader who is willing to, who has already downloaded your article and reading your entire article in order to get some kind of gist related to his or her own research findings. Okay. Now, this is all about the introduction. Certain slide I am just going to skip. Language is very important in the article. Sometimes we are writing single paragraph and we are using active and passive voice both. You know what is active and passive voice? Let me just tell you a very simple example. Let's say figure 5 shows the architecture, and second way of writing the same is as shown in figure 5. So the first one is active or passive? Active. And second one is passive. So always use one approach throughout your entire article. And I suggest that you have to use the active voice throughout your entire article. Active voice, don't use the passive voice. Certain other thing that you need to take care, because English is not our native language. So first comment we are getting likely to get from the reviewer is there are typos, grammatical errors in the article. Please try to rectify it. Very common error. Okay. So now how we are going to neglect the chances of such errors while getting some review from the reviewers? So we need to follow this approach, like in the introduction itself, if I want to describe, my aim is I want to describe the current state of the knowledge. Current state of the knowledge I want to describe. So I do not have any scope to use the past tense, I have to use the present tense. So let's say if I want to describe any process that is not yet complete, so I can use the present perfect tense. Or if I want to formulate the hypothesis, I can use the past tense for first verb and present tense for the second verb. About you, about your language expertise, depending upon your article. Once I am downloaded your article and trying to read out, then from that reading I make a kind of a perception that how good you are in writing, whether you have followed the all kind of sequences or not. Okay, so these are some of the suggestions that I want to highlight here. Now moving to the next part. Second segment of the research article is the related work. Okay, so in the related work, because related work is not a contribution of the author, you just need to consolidate what work as of now carried out by the various researchers in this particular field. And author perception is only author want to compare his work with the rest of the work. Getting my point? So in the related work, it is highly expected that you need to have a kind of a tabular comparison, relative comparison you need to include. Okay, and this segment is very important segment. Why? Because nowadays the editor-in-chief editor, they are selecting the reviewers from the list of references only. So maybe if I am criticizing the work carried out by someone else, that particular gentleman may be the potential reviewer for my article. Okay, so it is a human tendency. If I am bluntly criticizing the work carried out by some researcher and paper reaches to me and you are criticizing my work, as a human tendency, straight away I am going to reject it. It is the general phenomenon. Now how you are going to tackle this situation? You are first going to highlight their positive parts, that what about their contributions. Then very politely you have to specify that according to literature exploration, these are the problems related to the paper. But first thing is you need to highlight their positive contributions so that they feel motivated that you have already given right acknowledgement to them, and depending upon your literature exploration, you come up with this one lacuna in their work. So this is very, very important in the related work, and all the related work you are going to going to write in past tense, because this work is already carried out by different researcher, and only you need to create a kind of a tabular comparison here. Now moving to the some students have this problem also. Let's say if we have given you 10 articles and I say that no, please take 1 week and come up with the literature review of these 10 papers. So you come up with me with 10 paragraphs. One paragraph for one paper. This is also not the right approach. You need to consolidate, you need to integrate the work. It is not that 15 paper, 15 paragraph, no. You may club 5 papers in a single paragraph, or you may have separate paragraph for single paper. It all depends upon the exploration. So let's say for example, how we are going to combine it. Let's say for example, Tanwar et al. Method was advantageous from this point, but it suffered from this problem which was later on rectified by Sudeep et al. So in 2 lines, how many articles I have cited? 2 articles. One problem I have taken, and this problem already solved by some other researcher. Getting my point? So this is the way how you can frame out the related work. Now another thing is, if I have one conference article with me and I want to extend that conference paper and want to submit it to the journal. So according to the policies that followed by all the researchers across the globe, 70% of the content you have to change. 70% of the content you have to change against your already published article to a conference, and in the footnote of the journal you have to mention that this paper is the extended version of the article already published in one of the conference. That means you are not hiding. It is not only that you are going to just extend the work, you have to add some scientific contributions to your article also. Otherwise, straight away they are going to reject it. They say that no, it is similar to the previously published article. So don't hide it. Okay, because nowadays they are having a central repository. If one article I have submitted to journal X and the same article I am going to submit it to journal Y, they will raise a red flag. They say that no, this article is already submitted to another journal. So they blacklist the authors for certain period of time. So don't do this. Submit to one venue, wait for the result. If the result is not rejected, if the result is rejected, then you have to resubmit it to another journal. But till the time it is under review, you are not supposed to submit it to any other journal. It is again crime, because you have given the consent that this article is not submitted to any other venue. Now, another part is certain slide I am just going to skip. Next part is the third segment is the writing the system model and problem formulation. Now, whatever problem you have already mentioned in the first paragraph of the introduction, it is the high time for you to mathematically analyze that particular problem. Again, it's a sequencing. So third, I can say the third section of your article is problem formulation and system model. Here you need to mathematically formulate your problem, and after that what you need to do? You need to prepare the diagram system model of your article and try to explain it. What is the flow of your solution? How many layers it contains? What about the findings with respect to the proposed approach? So this you need to keep to the point. Like I have kept some example for you. So this is the problem formulation. Then after that, this is the system model. So this work was carried out by Arpit Shukla. Right now he is blockchain developer in Austria, Vienna, and this work was published in IEEE Transaction on Vehicular Technology in 2020. Okay, so system model, likewise you can frame out. This is another example of system model where you need to, what you need to do in the system model, you need to convert your entire solution into a modular approach. What is the modular approach? Bifurcate into the different segments and then try to explain each and every segment individually. Okay? Like in this particular example, how many layers it contains? 3 layers. So that means this particular section will contain how many subsections? 3 subsections. Why? Because I have bifurcated my entire system model or system architecture into 3 different subsections. Okay? So this is about the system architecture. Now, next one is the proposed approach. So in case of proposed approach, what you need to do, this is the section 4. You need to prepare, come up with a algorithm, flow chart, all kind of lemmas, theorems related to your solution that you are going to provide to the community as a part of your application, whatever you have selected. Okay. So here, looking at the problem formulation is, this proposed approach is, I need the complete flow of your solution. Right from input, output, and what about the intermediary process in order to come up with the solution. Now, these are some of the sample proposed work examples I have kept only for you to understand. See, this is the algorithm. And how you are going to create such kind of algorithm? Just you need to write the flow of your article pseudocode approach, step by step, and try to convert your entire theoretical construct into the symbols. Okay? Like 100 sensors are deployed in a 100 by 100 region. So you can say that n is equal to 1 to 100. So you don't need to write this particular line. So it is just like theoretical construct you are going to change into a more scientific way. And that we can call it as a, that we can follow by writing the pseudocode and then convert into the algorithm. Okay. Now this is about, the next segment is the results. How you are going to write results. It is not the first thing is, it is not the end of your entire journey. It is the start of your journey. And believe me, one experimentation and one research will give you multiple papers. Multiple papers. Why? So let's say for example, you have selected a particular area, let's say case number 1, small size network. Case number 2, mid size network. Case number 3, large size network. So you can convert your entire experimentation into a chain of experiments. Getting my point? But here you need to come up with good findings that what is your wow factor. Wow factor means while performing the experimentation, where you will get good accuracy, RMSE value, F1 score if you want to work in this area. These are your comparison parameters if you want to work in the security, computation cost, communication cost. So you need to capture those wow factor and try to include these wow factor as a part of your documentation. And that documentation we can call it as a research article. Okay. So all these things I have mentioned for you. These PPTs are just for your reference. So now this is just one example like how you can convert your entire conversation into more practical approach. So in the next part is, in the conclusion, what you need to write? Conclusion, you need to write within 200 words, 150 to 200 words. No need to write the conclusion, single page conclusion, 2-page conclusion. Only within 150 to 200 words, you need to consolidate your entire findings, what you have achieved and from where you have started, past tense. Completely you have to write in the past tense. So precise and to the point you have to write, like see this example. This is one of the example we started from this, and last line of the conclusion will always tell the future work. That how you are going to extend this work. This is not the end of your entire research journey. This is only the one paper you have contributed as a part from your project, and you are likely to continue this work to the next article. Getting my point? So this last line of the conclusion will give the, I can say the future point to the other readers also, that this is the lacuna of this particular work and how you are going to, you are thinking to extend your already carried out work. Okay? So this is about the conclusion. Now coming to abstract, and I believe that after the title, abstract is the very important part of your article, because reviewers are going to read out the abstract first. And if your abstract you have written in a very bad way, there is no connectivity, no coherency, straight away I made a judgment that this article I am going to reject it straight away without reading the entire article. Okay? So your abstract you need to write within 100 to 150 lines. Okay? So now while writing the abstract, what you need to do, you need to divide your entire 100 to 150 words into these 4 segments. Maybe the first 2 lines of the abstract will talk about the motivation and problem statement. Maybe the next two lines will talk about the methods and procedure. And next two lines will talk about the results, what kind of results we have achieved. Like let's say this approach is performing well as compared to the state of the art approaches concerning these parameters. So with respect to these parameters. And the last line will talk about the implications. Okay, so this is a sequence basically that you need to follow while concluding your entire article. Okay. Now, moving to the next segment, abstract types. So, what are the do's and don'ts that you need to follow? Don't use such kind of words. It is suggested. We will segregate it, or it is suggested. Why it is suggested? It is felt. Why it is felt? You have already carried out your research work, and the moment you have received a good result, then only you are willing to start writing your article. So such kind of words, if you want to include these as a part of your research article, community is not going to like these words. Okay, so these are the don'ts. So abstract should be about your research, not about the act of writing. That you need to take care. Okay. So it is not a summary of your entire article, summary of your entire research work. It is about your entire research that you have carried out, and that research you have segregated. You have to segregate into 4 different sections that we have discussed. Okay. Now moving to the next part. These are some of the examples. Acknowledgement. If you are working, some JRF, SRF or working with some projects, then you need to include the acknowledgement as a part of your article, otherwise it's optional. Then title. Sometimes if you see the research article, you will find more than 2 lines of title. It is not advisable. Keep your article within maximum 2 lines, not more than 2 lines. And how you can frame out your article? So if you want to frame out your article, you need to specify the keywords. You know the keywords of your article, so try to combine these keywords, try to use these keywords while framing out the title for your article. Okay, so this is the way how you can frame out your entire article. Now, author's type sequence. So author sequence, normally who has contributed up to what extent. According to that, you can specify who will remain the first author, second author and third author. References. Directly go to the publication houses and take the big file and text file. Students are having this approach. They go to the Google Scholar, and from the Google Scholar they extract the citations. Don't do this. Go to the publication houses directly and directly fetch the big file if you are using latex or overleaf, or the simple plain text if you are using Word. Okay, so directly from the publication houses. Why? Because on Google Scholar, I have fed my entire article. So maybe I skip the volume number, maybe I skip while filling this particular entry, I skip the page number. So you will not get the complete information. So that's the way it is always advisable. Go to the publication houses. Now, thumb rule is what? So whatever we have discussed in this particular part 1, all these are summarized here. Very quickly, we have discussed that what are the ingredients that are highly required in order to write the entire article. Okay. Now moving to the next segment very quickly, why research is important to UG students. Why it is important to UG students? It is not only important to CSC students, it is important to humanities students also, or electrical, every domain nowadays. Not only to UG students but to other students also. How it is going to pay you? So all of you agree with me that now research is a catchy word. Yeah? Everyone is saying that please do the research. So research is a catchy word, and if you look at across the globe where you have the scope, you can contribute, you can do some kind of applied research. Okay. So when you do some kind of applied research, then it will give you 2 directions. One is your individual personal growth, and second thing is your professional growth. How it is going to contribute to professional growth, I will tell you, and how it is going to contribute to the personal growth. We will take some of the realistic examples. So now, what are the many team members are to be involved in academic science, not only to UG students. I have already told to you that research is not that UG students are bound to do the research. Every, like if you see this particular slide, master students also, UG student also, then if you are a PhD student, then also, if you are a postdoc student, then also, if you are research technicians and scientists associate working in the company, then also, or if you are principal investigators of a particular funding agency project, then also. So we can say that everyone is responsible to contribute in the sense that they are associated in different dimensions basically. So these are the all different dimensions. So we are going to restrict only to the undergraduate research. Now, when you took admission in the first year, your knowledge is like that. If I want to plot the graph where y-axis is the level of independence and on the x-axis I am having focus of learning. First year में क्या होता है? What happened in the first year? If you see these two legends, then we have information oriented, discovery oriented. If I take information oriented as a horizontal scaling, and if I take discovery oriented as a vertical scaling, first year common to all. So first year your knowledge is wide knowledge you are having. That means horizontal exploration, or we can call it as a information oriented. But when you move from first year to second year, you report to the Department of Computer Science, then you can say that you are much more inclined toward the computer science, rest of the basic science away. Okay? Then when you move to the third year, then we can say that you are more towards, right from the third year, it is the high time for the student to decide that what is my core strength. I want to go in the big data field, I want to go in the security field, network field. That's the way in this particular PPT, if you see, only this much amount of information oriented we are having. That means up to third year, you have vertically explored your area and you started already building your profile in that particular area only, irrespective if you are doing it in the first year. And once you are in the final year, then you are finally graduated with this much amount of information. Initially, we have started from the big, but you are having very concise information, that too with respect to the profile in which you are looking a job and you want to pursue your MS. Now moving to the next segment, UG researcher, according to me, I can say that it's a kind of a T-shaped individual. Why T-shaped individual? Because breadth in your research discipline and depth in your research topic. That means if you try to correlate it, if you want to correlate it, then I can say that always there is a requirement to advertise your work. Nowadays, companies, they are referring your social profile also. Directly or indirectly, they are referring. Particularly not for graduate engineering training, but particularly for higher positions. Okay? Why they are referring your social profile? Because they want to check about your advertisement of your work. It is just like that, whatever work you have carried out, try to float it to the community. So floating to the community will have multiple ways. All these social networking sites come into existence, and another way is get it published. If you get it published, then also across the globe, community will know you. Second thing is learning how to interact with scientists. How? For a UG student, it is important. We encountered, and we recent past also we observed that if you attend international conferences within India or outside India, you will get a chance to interact with the scientists, with the professors of different universities across the globe. Okay, there maybe during the process of your interaction, they say that okay, you are in final year, so you want to pursue MS. I have one options with you. I can fund your entire fees. I will give you 1,000 USD per month scholarship. So if interaction is very fruitful, or maybe it is a chain of interaction. But this is the first kickstart. So while I advise all of you, please attend these technical events, whether it's a hackathon, workshop, webinar, symposium, or whether it is going to be kind of a technical debate, or whether it is going to be kind of a conference. Because you will get a a chance to interact with the renowned professionals. And one of the students of final year, Hetam Modi, got a chance of Google conference. Google conduct one conference every year where 250 students, UG students particularly, they sponsor 5-star hotel stay and they give the entire airfare from their city to Bangalore and back from Bangalore to. You spend nothing, but try to explore these possibilities. Okay. So now coming to the next part, seeking funding. So sometimes I have good idea available with me, but as a student I don't have single penny in my pocket. How to execute it? In order to execute it, I need some kind of money. So now the entrepreneurship comes into the picture. Okay. So funding options, you need to get funding through the projects also. You get the funding from external funding agencies also. As a UG student, you have to explore it also. Within country, outside country. During your second year, you need to create your entire profile that these many funding options are available with me. Because why I am exploring it? Because I do not want to take part in any placement activity, any GRE, TOEFL, no. I want to become an entrepreneur, but I don't have enough amount available with me. So how can I manage this amount, this money? So in order to explore it, you need to do right from the second year. Try to explore these crowdfunding platforms also. Okay, try to, because this will kind of an intermediary between you and the financiers. But only thing is, financier need a kind of a ROI. My money is safe. What kind of ROI I am going to get? If the project is not executed, then also my money is safe or not. Their money is only like that. Okay, so explore it also. Then teaching and mentoring. I personally believe that if you are working in a group, let's say you are in third year, so it is your duty to counsel your juniors, first year, second year students. Okay, maybe it's a team where we are having 3 students from final year, 1 student from third year. Then this research will also inculcate a kind of a feeling to you that how you are going to mentor your juniors, how you are going to mentor your colleague also. Okay, with respect to the definitions. So this is about what are the reasons to do research at UG level? Primarily, many reasons could be there, but I summarize only few reasons here. First one is the career development. What is the meaning of career development here? Let's say after this particular UG, you want to pursue your MS. Example 1. Example 2, you want to take job in Amazon, Google. Okay. Option number 3, no, I do not love coding, but I have inclination towards the research. So then every industry nowadays having research lab. Every industry nowadays having research lab, where your duty is not only to code, but your duty is to do innovations, novel innovations. That means you are not directly doing development, but you are writing the white papers for the company, and believe me, the package is more. Because with your white paper, the reputation of the company is also on high. Getting my point? Now, skill building. Why? If you do research at UG level, how it is going to contribute to the skill building? It will build your skill, not only your technical skill, but also your 360 degree. 360 degree means your writing skills, your reading skills, your technical skills, your implementation skills, all kind of skills. Third one is knowledge expansion. Why knowledge expansion? Because if you are working particularly in a multidisciplinary project, you are not aware about that robotics, but you are aware about that how to tackle this particular machine as a computer professional. You will get a chance while working in a multidisciplinary team to know about the other areas also, and this will definitely help you, because sometimes industry need a kind of a specialized individual working in a multidisciplinary field. Okay. Now other one is networking. While attending the conferences, you will try to find out the ways to interact with the individuals. We have already discussed about it. Personal growth, but obviously, because whatever I am doing, it is going to add certain point to my CV. Okay. And these points definitely help me to differentiate my profile from the rest of the students. Then contribution to the field, this is also okay. Now what is the motivational point to do the research? What are the different motivational points to do the research? The first motivational point is, It develops the critical thinking and complex problem solving techniques. And this is highly required. If you see any JD of any company, you will see this particular line that person should be critical thinker, person should be able to recognize the problem and try to solve it. And believe me, while you are working at UG level, you are doing the research. That means you are thinking beyond your imagination. From the implementation point of view, from the writing point of view, so this will help you in this dimension. Second, become independent learner. Sometimes your professor will guide you how to read an article. Reading an article itself, published article itself an art. Let's say 62 pages article. I need 1 week time to read it. But if I have only single day and within the single day I have only 6 hours, how can I wind up a 62-page article in 6 hours? That too, I do not want to go for the second round of reading. Getting my point? So this will help you in order to develop this skill also. This is the motivation. Foster your creativity and innovation, sense of understanding. All these are just for your reference, okay? All these are the motivation point to do the research. Now coming to the MS, this is more important for all of you. How this UG research is going to contribute while selecting MS from renowned universities like UC Davis, Stanford, CMU, okay, or other Berkeley, other universities. How it is going to help you? Like if I take an example of CMU, okay? In CMU, CGPA is okay. CGPA is a benchmark. Every student applying for the CMU is having in their mind that this is the CGPA required. Now everyone is having the same CGPA. BGC student is also having, you are also having. How your profile is create a kind of a differentiation. Getting my point? If you are having in your basket 2 research articles in journal or conference and professor is having the project in the same area, then professor say that no, person at UG level carry out the research, that means he or she is aware about that, how to write. So if I take him or her as my student, I do not write from the scratch. It will save my time. So believe me, these are the small things. Okay, if coming back to this particular preparation for graduate school, demonstration of commitment basically, or networking for LOR. Let's say you are writing your research article with one of the professor of leading US universities with the reference of your professor. One professor from Nirma is ready to give you LOR, and believe me, one of the IEEE fellow person at Stanford University is giving you the LOR. Straight away, they have not written it anywhere, but believe me, based upon our experiences, the straight away you are going to, your chances of getting admission in Stanford type of universities more as compared to the rest of the student. But that association is not only that when you graduate from Nirma and you say that no, I need LOR, they will not give you LOR. In order to get the LOR, you need to carry out some kind of preliminary work with them. This will show a kind of a association between you and professor, your prior association. Getting my point? And in LOR also you need to write it. After that, building a foundation for future research to grab scholarships. If I ask you that, how many of you are willing to go Canada or US, that too free, for attending a conference? All of you must agree. Now, who is going to sponsor your entire ticket, entire journey, stay? Lot of funding agencies like IEEE. Every year IEEE gives, every society of IEEE gives the student travel grant. IEEE Communication Society student travel grant. Every committee is giving the grant to the students, and mostly 15 to 20 grants. That grants include sometimes the fixed amount and sometimes no cap, actual expenses. Please try to grab the opportunity. This will also differentiate you from the rest of the students. Now moving to the next segment, what is the impact of undergraduate research? 2 points I want to highlight here is, one is the societal context and second one is the personal life. Because that we have already discussed, I am just keeping it. I want to spend more time on the case studies. So undergraduate research opportunities, I don't know how many of you have already gone through these URLs. Some of the URLs I have captured in this particular PPT. Every university is providing some scholarships. Only thing is you need to go to their portal and try to see that who are the last winner of the scholarships from that university where you are willing to pursue MS. And then go back and track their social profile. And you also realize that how they have built up their profile during the journey of 4 years. Maybe by taking part in the technical event, by having some kind of research article, and only that part you need in order to differentiate. Otherwise what happens? Everybody is having the degree. How you are going to differentiate? So you should keep some kind of parameter of differentiation in your mind. Okay? So now these are some of the undergraduate research opportunities that I have taken from different universities, like different universities I have taken it. So this unit, like Princeton University, then the University of Chicago, all these you need to explore, okay? So next part is, and the last part of this is success story of students. So first student, 15BC048, Janil Bora. He associated with me right from the second year, okay? And he grabbed 2 times scholarship from the IEEE. One for attending the IEEE Gujarat section, from the Gujarat section at Sri Lanka, one of the conference. And second one is from IEEE concept in 2019 to travel to Abu Dhabi, fully funded. Okay? And then he carried out the internship, one in US and one in Delhi. And he participated in the internship and contributed 3 SCI index articles. And when during his visit to UAE, Abu Dhabi, he interacted with one of the professors from the UC Davis University, Dr. Prasad Mahapatra. And the next day he invited him in his hotel, and I also visited with him. They interacted hours related to the work that he has already carried out related to the healthcare sector. And on the same day, Prasad Mahapatra sir realized that this particular gentleman is having some spark. So he, at that particular time, offered him zero tuition fees, and 2000 USD per month stipend. So he's right now also getting 2000 USD per month stipend. Fees is zero. It is the thing that how he has reduced the burden on the shoulder of their parents. 60 to 70 lakhs. Sometimes it is very huge amount. So this is your responsibility also, how you are going to reduce the burden on the shoulders, from the shoulders of your parents also. Okay. So now he is right now pursuing me right from the second year, 2 times winner of the travel grant, best paper award, completed MS from Johns Hopkins University. Right now working with Amazon. So why I am discussing these things? This will motivate you to do the research. You see the citations as per Google Scholar, more than 300 citations. Now another one, Mohit Patel, having 7 publications, out of 7, 5 were indexed in SCI journals. Then he is right now working as an ML engineer. Then Urvis Thakkar, he contributed only single article with me. That article is published in impact factor more than 10. And that article differentiated him from the rest of the students, and he got it. Now another one is Raj Parekh. So a lot of other case studies are also there. So only thing is you need to think about it, okay? So with this I am just giving all these, because this list is very long. Some of the glimpses of our visit I have kept just for you people. So now last word I want to say, if anything I have said is useful to you, I am happy. If not, don't worry. All things will again come back to you, because in the rapid change of technology we cannot sit silently, okay? So once again, thank you very much to Sapan sir and the entire team of ACES for providing me. Thank you. So now in case anyone of you have any doubt, although we have almost completed, anyone of you have any doubt you want to share, otherwise you know my cabin, feel free to come you want to discuss anything, okay? Thank you very much, all of you.
I would like to thank you all for coming to this event. I would like to thank Dr. Sudeep Tanwar for this enlightening and informative session. And once again, I would like to express my gratitude for all of you cooperating with us. Thank you.